Hello, beautiful souls. Thank you so much for dropping by this channel. Before we hop in, I'd like to say a brief prayer. Pay my respects to the source of all that is, known by many, many different names. I choose to call it infinite light, love, and power, especially the love part. I like to focus on the love part. And I pay my respects to all true teachers, all those who have risen above suffering and who selflessly lead others out of suffering. And lastly, I offer my respects to the divinity that I believe lives in each one of us, to each person who comes by this video. Please, may everyone who comes to this channel and everyone who comes to this video be blessed and healed and led onto a true path. Welcome. Hi to my live viewer. Welcome everyone watching this video. So to anyone who's new to this channel is dedicated to helping people recover from fake non-duality, to learning to distinguish between actual Advaita Vedanta, actual non-duality, and fake non-duality, and how to recover from it, because fake non-duality is actually very harmful. So what I'd like to talk about today is something that really roped me in, and I think has roped many people in, and that is the energy blessing that a person can confer. So anyone whose kundalini is awake, or anyone who, in the yogic point of view, anyone whose kundalini is awake, or anyone whose chakras, the 7 energy centers, and the chakras are recognized in traditional non-duality, and Ramana Maharshi himself spoke about them. If any one of those chakras is significantly opened, that person can pass along an energy blessing. Meaning, if you look at that person, sit in their presence, listen to them, you'll feel an upliftment, or you can feel an upliftment. This, however, does not mean that the person is enlightened or liberated. I fell for that, and many people have fallen for that. A Neo-Advaita teacher who I spent almost a little under 20 years spending time with, this guy could pump out, and the Sanskrit word is Shaktipat, like energy transmission. This person could pump out Shaktipat like, I don't even have words for it. I took a friend to visit this temple, and my friend could feel it in the parking lot. Like, we didn't even enter the temple yet. And my friend, who is very sensitive and sensitive energy, she's like, what is going on? And as soon as you enter that temple, it was just like, vroom. You could feel it. People who were not sensitive to energy could feel it. This guy just, I don't know how, pumped it out. And people would have very profound experiences there. My first time I went there, I started to have my first out-of-body experience. I was just sitting there, kind of meditating, and I started to feel myself leave my body. And the guy wasn't even in the room. I didn't know what was going on. So that's one of the things that hooks people into Neo-Advaita. I just thought, well, if this guy can pass along this, and it would get stronger when he was in the room. Sometimes, I mean, it was noted. And if you looked at him, or if you looked in his eyes, you'd have if you look into this dude's eyes, you'll have a powerful experience. I did. Many people did. And so that led me and many other people to the logical but false belief that he was enlightened. And I think many people fall for that. The other component of it is once you start thinking non-dual thoughts, you'll start to have a spiritual experience. It will alter your state of consciousness, and that can lead people to falsely believe that what's being said is true. Now, here's where spirituality gets really tricky, is discerning between the difference between energy and words. So this teacher was just not a good person. I won't go into all the things that he did that were bad. He wasn't a good person. He was teaching fake non-duality, and yet he could pass along this powerful energy. People's minds would just stop around him. The mind would just get quiet. But it ends up he was a sorcerer, not a guru. He was placing a spell on us. But the problem is it was also the energy, the feeling, the experience had some level of truth to it, maybe a lot. Maybe the energy we were feeling was completely true, but the verbal teachings and the behavior were almost completely untrue and unvirtuous. So it's very baffling to sit with this, to sit with that contradiction. So that's what I plan to talk about today. Let's see if there's anything else. Spirituality Neo-Advaita offers simple solutions, but spirituality is not simple. I'll give you an example. I have, for my last couple of videos, before when I start the video, I'm started it off with a prayer. And as soon as I do that prayer, then I feel a very powerful energy. So you may have noticed my voice and my mannerisms are different in these last couple of videos. That's because I'm just trying something new, and the result is very powerful. It's hard. I don't want to talk right now. I just want to drop in and feel that, tune into that, enjoy that, whatever it is. It's a mystery. Literally, just a simple prayer completely changing my state of consciousness. And it's a mystery. Someone who's teaching something false, unethical, horrible, unethical behavior. Not horrible, but really bad. Really bad. Unethical behavior. And yet they're the vessel through which something very pure happens. The experience I had and many people had in that temple was very pure. The energy part. The rest of it, very not pure. So I'm going to just drop into this feeling and see if there's anything else I want to say. That's all for now. If you'd like, if you're new, and actually for my return viewers, I finally have a website. You can click on the link in the chat box or the link below this video. And this piece is really good. I think, my understanding, and I believe it's true, is that we're all looking for happiness. And I'm not talking about happiness like, a fun day in the park, though that's very nice. I'm talking about permanent happiness, peace. And that's what true spirituality, and my definition of true spirituality is that which leads people to freedom, to real freedom, to ongoing peace, to a peace that the challenges of life cannot interrupt. And so I haven't attained that yet. It comes and goes, which many people on the Neo-Advaita path who have experienced Neo-Advaita, many of us got to that place where we could experience this deep peace. And we're like, oh my God, what is this? This feels so good. Like right here, right now, it's just like this primordial depth of peace and goodness And it is a joy and a happiness and a bliss, but it's very a gentle joy and happiness and bliss. And so I, from my own reflections, but also from studying different scriptures and traditions, I believe that we're all hungry for this. I'm convinced, actually. I don't even believe. I'm convinced. Can't prove it, but that what we are all hungry for is this deep, deep peace. Not the kind of peace after a massage or a sunset, though those things are nice, but this ongoing peace. And so I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm not a guru because the peace isn't constant for me. And I have yet to meet a Neo-Advaita teacher whom the peace is constant for. I've met a couple actual Advaita teachers for whom the peace is reported. They report, and I believe them, that it is constant. And their behavior is also ethical, and their teaching is logical, and their teaching is in alignment with various scriptures. Like they're not just making something up. They're part of a community. Neo-Advaita teachers are completely isolated. They're not part of a community, except the community they create of people around them who are obedient to them. But they oftentimes disagree with each other. Whereas in Advaita, actual Advaita, there's deep, deep harmony. Like the Sanskrit word sat. It means truth. It means eternal. It means real. Like maybe they argue about, which one of those is more accurate. But there's this agreement because they've all followed a path and walked a particular formula that I can't report from my personal experience, but I've met people whom they can say, yes, the peace is permanent. And so part of what I'm doing is making connections with such people and then referring, hi to my live viewer, referring people to such people on my website so that they can get connected to an actual Advaita teacher. So the person who just joined in, if you have any questions or comments, I'll give you a minute to post them. Otherwise, I think I'm going to wrap up. Oops, I was muted for that. Thank you for saying hi, Paul. Love received and returned. Yeah, voice to text. It can get you sometimes. Yeah, we'll connect in another way, shape, or form when you're not on voice to text. Wish you a beautiful day as well. And thank you to everyone who took the time to watch this video. I wish you a blessed day.